In the sweeping, heavily romanticized lore of the Ottoman Empire's genesis, history is overwhelmingly dominated by the colossal figures of its founding sovereigns. Yet an empire is never forged solely by the grand visions of kings. It is hammered into existence by the iron discipline of its commanders. Before the Ottomans possessed a formalized standing army, they were a volatile coalition of nomadic Turkic raiders, fierce, unyielding, but dangerously disorganized. To transform a chaotic storm of light cavalry into a systematic engine of conquest,
that chest is mine by right.
I took it in balance, mine. We'll
see about that.
Unparalleled martial experience. According to the foundational Ottoman chronicles recorded by historians like Ashikbashazadeh, that monumental task fell to a veteran whose name is permanently etched into the military DNA of the empire, Samsa Çavuş. He was not merely a warrior, he was an institution. He holds the distinct, historically verified honor of being the very first individual in the history of the Ottoman state to bear the title of Çavuş, a rank that evolved into the backbone of military discipline, translating loosely to sergeant or forward commander. What makes the legacy of Samsa Çavuş truly extraordinary is his sheer, uncompromising endurance and his multi-generational bedrock of loyalty. He is one of the extraordinarily rare historical figures who fought shoulder to shoulder with Ertuğrul Gazi, survived to become the chief tactician and disciplinarian for Osman I, and lived long enough to witness the reign of Orhan Gazi. While other legendary figures of the era were celebrated for their individual reckless bravery in the melee, Samsa Çavuş was revered for his brilliant, cold-blooded capacity for troop management. He acutely recognized that religious zealotry and raw courage were insufficient to permanently topple the Byzantine Empire. The frontier warriors required structure, hierarchy, and absolute, unquestioning obedience. This unique mastery of military organization was put to its ultimate test during the critical early expansion toward the Sakarya River. By the early 14th century, Osman I had set his sights on the heavily fortified, strategically vital Byzantine cities of Nicaea, Iznik, and Nicomedia. To choke these massive strongholds and cut off their supply lines, the Ottomans needed to permanently secure the treacherous, highly contested frontier along the Sakarya Valley. It was a volatile region plagued by constant Byzantine ambushes and heavily armed sorties. Recognizing the immense peril of holding this bleeding edge of the frontier, Osman identified a ruined, abandoned fortress perched on a strategic hilltop overlooking the river. To hold this critical choke point, he did not send a massive lumbering army, he sent Samsa Çavuş. The assignment was effectively a suicide mission. Samsa Çavuş was tasked with defending the absolute vanguard of the Ottoman frontier against the regular, disciplined garrisons of the Byzantine Empire, utilizing only a modest contingent of nomadic raiders. Upon taking command of the ruins, which would forever after be registered in historical archives as the Samsa Çavuş Kasteli, the castle of Samsa Çavuş, he enacted a rigid, unrelenting martial law. He absolutely refused to allow his men to fight as a disjointed mob. As early Ottoman texts detail, he rigorously drilled his riders, established intricate, overlapping patrol routes, and enforced the terrifyingly strict code of conduct and vigilance. He transformed a band of wild horsemen into a cohesive garrison. When the Byzantine governors inevitably launched coordinated counteroffensives from Nicaea to break the Ottoman stranglehold, they did not encounter the disorganized band of nomads they had anticipated. Instead, they collided with a highly disciplined, heavily fortified military machine orchestrated by a master tactician. Samsa Çavuş and his disciplined garrison successfully repelled repeated, overwhelming Byzantine incursions, holding the Sakarya line with an iron grip. His fortress became the impenetrable anvil upon which the Byzantine resistance in the region was systematically shattered. By holding this line through sheer discipline and strategic brilliance, he completely isolated the major Byzantine cities, directly enabling their historic conquests by Osman and Orhan. When we examine the true, unvarnished history of the Ottoman military supremacy, the legend of Samsa Çavuş stands as a towering testament to the power of order over chaos. He proved unequivocally that true martial greatness is not found merely in the swinging of a sword, but in the rare ability to forge 1,000 disparate warriors into a single, unbreakable weapon. His title, Çavuş, survived the centuries, becoming the absolute foundation of the legendary Ottoman military hierarchy that would eventually march across 3 continents.